Today we're going to be talking about how to write heavier riffs with the blues scale. Now when we hear the term blues scale or scale in general, our head's going to go right to the idea of box patterns and lead guitar. And that would be the first position E blues scale, or if we play that up at the 12th fret in a more traditional location for a lead. Or maybe played in second position. But today we're not concerned with lead patterns or lead guitar at all. We're gonna look at how to use the blues scale to construct riffs. Before we dive in, I wanna mention I'm playing an Alumorite Warlord here in C standard tuning with 12 to 56 strings, playing through an Elder God Battle Doom fuzz into a green Matamp GT120. There's no real tabs for this lesson, but you can find tabs for most of the riffs we're gonna discuss over at patreon.com/doesitdoom. Sign up for free for 7 days, stick around if you like it, and cancel if you don't. Because we're tuned down 2 whole steps, we're actually in the key of C minor here. I'm saying E minor because that would be the position if we were in standard tuning. But now if we want to look at that C blues scale down the entire neck, it would go something like this. Which is the same notes as your traditional box shape. Just played up and down the neck. Of course, we could also play it like this. Or like this. Or even like this. But today we're gonna focus in on one specific area of the neck, and that is what I call the E Blues Riff Box, or C Blues Riff Box, if you will. And it really blends a couple of the traditional box shapes. So your position 3 E blues scale box shape would go like this. So we're gonna blend part of that box with part of the second position box and the open note to get this. So in terms of intervals there, we've got a root, a minor third, a perfect fourth, a flat fifth, that's that blue note, the diminished fifth, a fifth, a flat seventh, and a root, then a minor third again, and a perfect fourth. And if you want, you can even add this additional flat fifth. Now, it's unbelievable how many amazing riffs have been constructed just from that box pattern over the years. And so the idea here is to look at a bunch of examples to help you get an idea for how the pattern can be used to construct riffs of your very own. First, let's look at Hand of Doom. Very simple. So in terms of intervals, we're just using the root, the flat seventh, the perfect fourth, the flat fifth, and the fifth. Another great classic Sabbath riff that uses this E Blues Riff Box, Wicked World. Right, just all notes right from that box. Now let's look at something a little more modern, maybe Electric Wizard, Dope Throne. So there, flat seventh, root, and of course that flat fifth. Now whenever you hold that flat fifth, you're really gonna generate some tension. It's a really great note, very unsettled, used immensely throughout stoner, doom, and sludge style metal. Another great one, Electric Wizard's Electric Wizard. That one used the root the flat fifth, the fifth, the flat fifth, and the minor third. A sleep riff that's actually very similar to that riff is Holy Mountain. So you see so far from this E Blues Riff Box or C Blues Riff Box, it's really the riff box of whatever your sixth string is, provided you're in some form of standard tuning. But so far we've examined 5 classic riffs and only used the first half of the box. Let's look at some sludge with some I Hate God. That's Blank, another great riff from that song. So now if we want to expand a little bit and start using the second half of that box here, first let's look at another riff from Holy Mountain. It's actually played like this. We can play it in the Blues Riff Box here very easily. So you can see I'm actually dipping into that second half of the box now. Another classic sleep riff that dips into the second half of the box is the Druid. So you can see there, using the full box. And again, Church of Misery, El Padrino uses the full box. And so if you want to try this box pattern in the key of A, or what would be the key of F since we're tuned down these 2 full steps. One classic riff that uses that pattern, doesn't actually end up using the blue note, but just classic, is Dragonaut. So really the point here today isn't to learn those riffs, but to just understand that you can create countless amazing stoner, doom, and sludgy riffs using this Blues Riff Box. And And of course, you don't have to use this to create riffs. You know, you could just noodle around and come up with whatever you want, using whatever intervals you want, never paying attention to scales in general. But if you're looking for something or trying to find some inspiration or just wanting to try a different approach, I think limiting yourself to a certain section can be helpful for constructing just some riffs now and then. So let's just riff around, see what we can come up with here. This isn't planned, I'm just kind of going off the cuff. So as you can see, guys, tons of riffs here at your fingertips in this little Blues Riff Box. Once again, we've got a downloadable PDF with all the neck diagrams showing off that shape in the key of E and A. And I want to send out a huge thank you to everyone who supports this channel over on Patreon, with a very special thank you to all of our Riff Lord and Riff Messiah tier producers. For another video lesson just like this, you could click the video directly below me. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, you can do so by clicking the round subscribe icon. So until next time, always remember, Tony Iommi is your friend.